Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something, well, truly fascinating. Our source isn't some long article or, a dense research paper. It's the immense information packed into just, well, a few words.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how a really specific product name, even with all the technical jargon, it can actually serve as a remarkably dense summary, like of capabilities and applications, even without a full description right there to back it up. It's sort of a micro manifesto of features.
That's exactly right. Our entire source for today's deep dive is just that. A single product title. We found it online. We're going to break down WolfPack 4K 30Hz 4x4 Seamless HDMI Matrix with video wall rotating splicing capture multi-viewer modes. That's a mouthful.
It is. And our mission today is really a linguistic and, I guess, conceptual exploration. We're going to dissect what this super detailed product name actually tells us, breaking down the components, to understand the specific functions, technical specs, all implied just by the words themselves. It's like a masterclass in how complex technical info gets condensed, but only if you speak the language of the tech.
All right, let's start right at the beginning then. WolfPack.
Mm-hmm.
When you see a name like that first up, does it immediately just scream brand? Or could it, imply something else, like ruggedness or design?
In this context, WolfPack is almost certainly a brand name, or maybe a specific product series identifier. It's the unique label, right? The thing that distinguishes this line from others. Sure, some brands pick names hinting at attributes, but WolfPack here is primarily signaling origin and product line. A bit like, ThinkPad for laptops.
So it's the signature. Got it. Moving on from that, we hit 4K 30 Hz. Now, 4K, I think most people are familiar with that now, ultra high def, but the 30 Hz, that feels like a very specific choice. What does that particular refresh rate tell us about maybe the intended use or the priorities of this device? Is it a limitation or deliberate optimization?
That's a great question. Because, 30 hertz isn't what you typically pick for, say, fast-action gaming, or even smooth computer interfaces where you'd look for 60, maybe 120 hertz. Here, 4K resolution means, obviously, exceptional image clarity. Crucial. The 30 hertz refresh rate, while lower, probably indicates the priority for this device is more about image stability and fidelity. Rather than high-speed motion, it's perfectly adequate for things like static displays, presentations, definitely video walls where the content changes less often. It ensures you get that consistent high-res picture without, taxing the system too much. It signals high-def handling where pixel detail really matters.
Okay, that distinction is key then. Stability over speed. And then we encounter 4x4. I mean, obviously it means 4 inputs, 4 outputs. But does that 4x4 setup suggest anything about the typical scale or common applications for a matrix this size?
Oh, absolutely it does. 4x4 is, like you said, standard notation. 4 ins, 4 outs. And that size is actually incredibly versatile. It's small enough for, say, many conference rooms or maybe single-room setups. Lets you route 4 different sources to 4 different displays independently. But it's also modular enough that you can build bigger systems, by stacking or cascading multiple 4x4 units together. So yeah, it indicates flexibility, a common building block for a whole range of pro AV setups.
Right, that makes sense. It's versatility. Building on that, we then have Seamless HDMI Matrix.
Oh.
HDMI Matrix just confirms it's handling those high-def video signals. We get that. But that word seamless, that really jumps out. What makes a seamless switch so important? And what kind of problems does it actually prevent for the operator?
Seamless. That's a premium feature and really critical for professional applications. See, a non-seamless switch, when you change video sources, it often gives you that momentary black screen, or a flicker, maybe a visible glitch while the display resyncs. And in a live presentation or a control room or broadcast, that's incredibly jarring, unprofessional. Seamless means the transition is, well, instant, imperceptible. It maintains continuous video output. It's actually a pretty big engineering challenge to achieve that without any disruption at all.
Oh, I can picture that. I was in a control room once, years ago, and every switch was this awful flicker. So yeah, seamless. I imagine that's a huge relief for anyone managing live feeds. Okay, from there, our eyes are drawn straight to with video wall. That paints quite a picture, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, yeah. Video wall immediately flags the device's main application. Its purpose, it's designed to manage content not just for, 4 separate screens, but for multiple displays configured together as one single larger unified screen. Think of those really impressive big digital displays you see, large venues, command centers, maybe even those immersive art installations. This device is essentially the brain coordinating all those individual panels, making them one cohesive image.
Right, so it's not just sending video to 4 screens, it's about making those screens work together, like one giant canvas. And then finally, we get this incredible string of capabilities. Rotating, splicing, capture, multi-viewer modes.
Wow. Each one of those sounds like a distinct, powerful tool. They really are. These are specific advanced operational modes. They add these sophisticated layers of control and flexibility. So rotating suggests, well, the ability to rotate the content displayed. That's crucial for video walls using screens in portrait mode, maybe, or for artistic effects. Splicing implies it can take a single video source and stretch it across multiple displays to form one big image. Or, conversely, combine multiple sources into one coherent image on that wall. And capture, that indicates the device can actually acquire, maybe record incoming video signals, which is invaluable for archiving or analysis or perhaps even streaming.
Okay, and multi-viewer modes. How does that change how information is presented to the person watching?
Right, multi-viewer modes. That's all about showing several different video sources at the same time, on a single screen or across the combined display. Imagine seeing your main presentation, but maybe alongside smaller windows showing supporting data, or live camera feeds, multiple perspectives, all on one large video wall. It gives you incredibly flexible control over how information gets organized and, consumed.
So what does this all mean then? We've really seen how every single word in a product name like, let me try it again, WolfPack 4K, 30Hz 4x4, Seamless HDMI Matrix with video wall rotating splicing capture multi-viewer modes, how each word acts like a compressed data packet. It's a remarkable shortcut, really, to understanding a product's entire purpose and its capabilities. But beyond just understanding this product, what does this tell us maybe about the power dynamics of language in these specialized fields? Is it purely about efficiency, or does it also create a kind of insider knowledge, something that might unintentionally exclude others?
That's a fantastic point. And really connects this specific deep dive to that, well, the bigger picture. These names, they function almost like a highly optimized code, a domain-specific language, if you will. They allow for incredibly rapid, unambiguous communication among specialists, streamlining everything from design to sales to installation. The insight isn't just that they're efficient, but like you said, that efficiency maybe comes at a cost, a higher barrier to entry for someone not fluent in that code. It really highlights how language itself can be a tool of both clarity and perhaps inadvertently exclusion in these very technical fields.
It's pretty incredible when you think about it that way, isn't it? So the next time you're maybe browsing for a new gadget or looking at some piece of equipment or even just walking through an electronics store, take a moment to really read the product names. Think about how much you might be able to infer just from that name across different industries, consumer electronics, heavy machinery, whatever. What hidden specs or design choices or core functions might be encoded in those names that maybe you couldn't now start to decode yourself. You might be surprised just how much information is hiding right there in plain sight, just waiting for you to unlock it.